I want you to use your hip and pick his leg up and drop it forward. A few more inches in front of him. Lift it up and drop it down. Lift, 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 lift. You see the tempo change? Good. Now I want you to think like you had two wheels attached to your hip bones. And those wheels are going to rotate his leg up and forward, up and forward, up and forward. There you go. Now, as you lift up and forward, give him a space to come into. So I want you to sort of lighten yourself up as you think of lifting that right hip up. Give him some space and ask him to come up to that space. Get his attention, wake him up. Because right now he seems to be lollygagging. That's it. Get him listening to those legs. Good girl. Okay, now let's deal a little bit with the tempo. Let's get his front legs and his hind legs moving at the same pace. Okay? So I want you to feel, if you think that his front end is moving faster than his hind end, then I want you to pick the pace up in the hind end. Or you can slow the front end. But as long as they're moving at the same pace for a working walk. So you might want to think about either you're going to hold the front end on the ground just a little longer and ask the back end to catch up, or you're going to move that back end up a little faster so it catches up with the front end. Little alternating leg so he gets a little more lateral swing because we worked on those rib cage on both sides. We did his intercostals. So ask him to give you a little more lateral swing, stepping through with his hind feet. Okay, Kate, I want you to really slow your hip. I want you to think about rocking your seat back onto your hip pockets if you had hind pockets. And think of rocking him back onto his hind end and ask him to stop.
Let's try that again.
Yes, I know. We had this issue. Because he likes to keep like kind of moseying through. Good boy. Now, right from there, I want you to feel like you're going to rock him back just a little bit onto his hind end and then send him forward. Yes, go forward. Yes. That little bit of rock to say, okay, we're going to rock him back on his rear end, onto his butt, so that we get him to start pushing off with his hind end and get out of his forehand. And wherever you decide, and this is what I want you to look for, feel like you're going to lift his whole front end up, more of a marching step. So you want him to pick his knees up, pick his shoulders up, and when you get that marching step, then I want you to lift him up, creating space here, like you're going to lift him right into this upside down U, and ask for a TROT. But it's not until you feel him actually give you that nice lift in the front end that I want you to then take him to the TROT. And don't be afraid to use your spurs if you need them. Okay. But when you feel like you got that lift, you get a little bit of lift on the front end, so it's not, so that when you're asking him to sort of take off into that trot, he's not just pushing off and down into the ground, but he's actually lifting up and going forward. Good. Okay, now watch that he doesn't lay into that inside shoulder. Shift more of his weight into his outside. Good. Now, what I want you to do is just to let him out. I want you to go to your 2-point, stay off his back, and I want you just to press him to go forward. Forward, 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 forward. Every stride. Forward, forward, forward. Yes. Yes. No restrictions. Just let him go forward. Forward, forward, forward. Good. Don't let him airplane. He has to be level. Level on his turns. Think of lifting. Lift your inside hand. Lift his inside shoulder. Lift those intercostals on the inside. Good girl. That's it. That's it. That's it. Now just let him go forward. Forward, forward. Drive, drive, drive. He is so slow. He is just like juice. Now. Yes. Good. Now let's just cruise. Just cruise. Don't you do anything. Just cruise. Now drive, 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 drive. Good, Kate. Now cruise. Just cruise. Now as you turn, lift that inside hand, lift that inside shoulder. Don't let him lay into that shoulder. Good girl. Okay, now as you come down this long side, I want you every third stride to lift that inside rein and ask him to give you a little bit of a shoulder fore. And then let him go straight. I know, that's okay. He may not get it on the first couple tries, but ask for it anyway. That's it. Lift that rein up, more up and over towards his opposite shoulder. Yes, yes. Now don't hold it steady, sort of like ask, 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 ask. Good boy, good boy, good. Now just let him go forward. Just let him cruise. Go ahead and post your trot.